You ever have one of those neighbors who just can't take no for an answer? Because I do. And it all started with a driveway, a diesel truck the size of a small building, and the worst timing you can imagine right in the middle of a medical emergency. So I live at the end of a cul-de-sac, quiet neighborhood. Nothing fancy, but folks here mostly keep to themselves and respect boundaries. I'm a single mom with two teenage boys, and I'm the only one on my street who parks in the garage. Everyone else, they got 3 or 4 cars spilling out into their driveways onto the street. But somehow, it's never been a problem. Until the new neighbors moved in. They were a big family. Mom, dad, 3 teenagers, and they seemed nice at first. I even walked over to say hi when they were unloading the moving truck. You do that right. Try to be neighborly. Turns out their garage was packed to the brim with junk, so all 4 of their cars lived outside. That alone made the cul-de-sac tighter, but still manageable. For a while. I didn't know it then, but the youngest kid was about to turn 16. And what did his parents get him? A lifted, blacked out F-350s that looked like it belonged on a construction site. I'm talking massive. Like couldn't fit in a regular parking spot if it tried. Massive. Then one evening, the dad shows up at my door. I cracked it open since my youngest was homesick, and we exchanged the usual small talk. How's your boy? Hope it's nothing serious. Blah, blah, blah. Then he drops the real reason for the visit. He wants to know if his son can park in my driveway. I literally blinked. Wait, you want to use my driveway? He says, well, it's just that his truck is so big, and when he parks on the street, some of the neighbors say they can't get around. We're just trying to avoid any trouble. I told him I use my driveway every time I come and go. It's not just decorative. And besides, with how huge that truck is, there's no way I could maneuver around it safely. He kept insisting, saying it wouldn't inconvenience you, and even suggested the boy could park halfway on my lawn. That's when I lost patience. Look, I'm not going to be responsible for your son's monster truck damaging my property. I don't care how pretty it is, he can't park here. His smile tightened. You're not being very neighborly. Now I'm a polite woman. I keep to myself wave when I see people send cookies when a baby's born. But that rubbed me raw. I am neighborly, I said. But I didn't buy a vehicle that doesn't fit my property. That's not my problem. Now I've got a sick kid to take care of. He left, but not before flipping me off through the peephole. Classy. Fast forward 3 days. It's Friday night. My boy's been sick all week now, running a fever. I open the garage to take him to urgent care, and there it is. That F-350 squatting in my driveway like it owns the place. I can't even back out. I stormed next door and banged on their door like a cop with a warrant. The mom answers irritated mid-dinner. I say, your son parked in my driveway. Again. To take my son to the doctor. She tries to brush it off. He's not blocking you. That's when the dad appears. You can get around him. No, I can't. Move it, or I'm calling the police and a tow truck. They begrudgingly call for the boy, who shows up with his keys and a bad attitude. As he's backing out badly, he rolls down the window just to call me the B word every woman's heard at least once in her life. I didn't even flinch. Just got my kid in the car, drove off, and while we were in that endless waiting room at urgent care, I emailed our useless HOA to document the whole thing. Again. Now here's where it gets real interesting. Sunday night, I'm coming back from a second urgent care run, this time for my older son, who's caught the same virus, and I'm feeling like death myself. Coughing, exhausted, just praying for my bed. And as I round the corner to my house, what do I see? Yep, that truck. Again. Right in my driveway. This time, he's partially on my lawn too. I saw red. I didn't knock. I didn't call. I didn't even hesitate. I Googled a 24-hour tow service, told them I had an unauthorized vehicle blocking my private driveway, and 30 minutes later, a glorious tow truck hauled that beast off into the night. I took pictures, sent them to the HOA, sent them to my email for timestamp. Then I went to bed. At 6 a.m. sharp, the banging started. No surprise, it was the neighbors. The dad was shouting, "Where's the truck?" I said, still coughing. It was towed. You can call XYZ Towing and arrange to get it back. He lost it. You didn't have the right. You're going to pay for it. I stood my ground. Nope. I told you not to park there. Twice. This is on you. He threatened to call the cops and sue me. I said, go ahead. I'm going back to bed. Guess what? He did call the cops. An hour later, I'm talking to a very tired-looking officer at my door. He tells me the dad reported the truck stolen. I calmly explain everything. I even printed out all my emails to the HOA, showed him the photos, pulled up video of the dad yelling on my porch. The officer watched it all, walked over to inspect my lawn, and came back nodding. You want to file a trespassing report? He asked. You bet I do. He handed me his card, said I could file online, and told me he can sue you if he wants, but based on what I've seen, you're covered. Keep all this for your records. And that's exactly what I did. Over the next few days, the truck stopped showing up in my driveway. Still parked in the street further down now. The neighbors haven't spoken to me, but I've gotten plenty of nasty glares. What I didn't expect was how the rest of the neighborhood rallied behind me. Turns out I wasn't the only one who'd been annoyed by that truck. Someone down the block even had to bang on their door at 4 a.m. once because the truck blocked them from going to work. The word got around. One retired guy even gave me his number and said, next time they show up, you call me first. And now, there's a quiet little watch happening on our street. Not because we hate them, but because some people have to learn the hard way that boundaries matter. I'm still sick, still tired, but finally feeling like I did the right thing. And if you're wondering, no, there's been no retaliation. Just a bruised ego and a very expensive tow bill, I'm sure. And to anyone out there who thinks I overreacted, I get it. I second-guessed myself too. That's why I posted the story in the first place. But here's the thing. I didn't escalate first. I said no. I said it twice. They chose not to listen. So yeah, I had that truck towed. And if it happens again, I'll do it again. What would you have done in my shoes? Was I too harsh? Or was I finally enforcing the line they kept crossing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you've ever dealt with a neighbor like this, I'd love to hear your story too.